Oh, for gosh sakes. You know what, Nexus? Hey, Morrowind World, it's me again. It appears as though, I have been, banned, blocked, deleted, once again, by none other than the Nexus Police. Well, in any case, I wanted to make this video. The video that was removed, actually there were several, they deleted my magic melee dual wield, and I made a video about this. So, that video, um, got some attention, but soundtrack from the game, this video, so they deleted this. But in any case, look, if you can make this happen, the the deal's still on, $100. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you guys a sort of workaround to this. What I did was, okay, what's the problem with casting spells in Morrowind? They're very slow. So, for example, let's say I have a fireball. And what I did was, let me show you something. I'm on OpenMW, so I'm not compatible with MCP. I don't have Swift casting. There's nothing I can do about that. So, in order to do things quickly, ready my weapon was mouse. I enabled it as mouse 2, which is the when you push down on the wheel on your mouse. Ready magic is my right button, and then using something is 1. Okay, so that's very critical. So, if I want to sheath my sword or draw it, I click the wheel. If I want to ready my magic, I can do that. But the thing is about magic in Morrowind, every time there's no dual wield yet, which is what I would like to have happen. So I have to click my wheel, Whoa, jeez.
You will suffer.
Oh yeah, I'm in trouble right now. So, actually this is good. So if I want to cast magic, I have to click here, and then, the spell requires the animation every single time. So I found a workaround, which, this is no cheats, this is no, nothing or modding. This is actually in-game Morrowind strategizing. So what I did was, I created 3 enchanted rings. Just as an example, so frost ring, where's my other one? I have a shock ring, I have a frost ring, and then I have another ring somewhere. That one, they're both exquisite ring, but this is a fire damage. But I quick keyed them through this. So I put my fire ring here. I click F1 on my keyboard. Then it brings up this menu. So fire ring, frost ring, shock ring. So the thing about enchanted rings is that they're actually decently powerful. And instead of, casting a fireball 1 by 1, when you're using Magicka, well look, if I equip my ring, which is a fire ring, I can just cast it one after the other. There's no hand waving animation. I can just go, or the frost ring, or the shock ring. The sound effects, I actually had it up. The sound effects I got from this mod. Oh wait, hold on, where'd it go? This mod. But I haven't been able to figure out the electric sound effects work, but the frost and the fire seems to work with some of them. I can't get any of the frost sound effects to work. I haven't figured that out yet, but maybe you guys can, message him on there and get a response. So, anyway, this isn't cheating because I'm only using in-game mechanics. With enchanted items, you're able to cast back-to-back spells. And, you know, if I want to quickly use my weapon, I just, you know, click my mouse wheel. And, you know, let's say let me use a different one. Let me put my fireball for my number 4 hotkey. So if I click 4, you know, I'm gonna have to look at my animation, my animation every single time. My hand waving animation versus with my ring, I can just cast it indefinitely, or at least until my charge comes out. But this isn't really overpowered at all either. I mean, I set my difficulty up to 300 anyway, so I'm not even though I'm like min-maxed out with my stats, I am not I'm not like, you know, the game, I haven't broken the game. I'm still But my shock, the shock sound effects from Nifty's Elemental Magic mod are the best, to be honest. The Frost, they still sound like vanilla. But it's all there. And you can use this strategy. You know, I used a Golden Saint enchanted Grand Soul Gem. The Exquisite Rings have like 120 enchant pool. So, you know, those are the best. And I feel like it makes being a mage actually practical in Morrowind, given the fact that, at least for OpenMW, we don't have swift casting or a dual wield yet, anyway. So this is a good alternative to where you can, you know, you can hotkey basically your weapon, and then, you know, your enchanted ring, and just alternate back and forth. That's the best I could figure out how to do. So until we have a definitive mod for dual wielding magic and melee, that's the best I could figure out for you guys. Hopefully that helps. That's it. And again, the great thing about it is you're not breaking the game. You're not cheating. There's no mods. Those are all in-game Morrowind mechanics for you right there. So hopefully you found that you know, useful and helpful. And you know, I will put you know, a link down in the description of whatever other mods in the future unfortunately get removed on Nexus. I wish it didn't have to be like that, but I guess that's just, those are the cards I'm dealt. So, in any case, alright guys, keep an eye out for those mods. Happy modding, happy Morrowind, and I'll see you next time.